Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make your very own post van for all of your city building needs. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please do remember to subscribe to the channel and click the little bell next to the subscription button. That'll ensure that you get all my videos sent directly to your sub box. But without any further ado, let's get started. So just before we start building everybody, here are all of the materials that you will need to make your post van. Please do make sure that you have access to all of these materials and enough of them as well. The amount of space required to make the post van is a 4x6 block area as represented by the little white concrete grid on the ground, which you are more than welcome to make if you are planning out your city. And that's it. Pause the video if you have to make sure that you got enough stuff, make sure you got enough room to make it, make sure you're ready, and once you are, we can begin. Step 1, van builders. Come all the way over to the front left hand corner of your grid, if you've made it, and above this front left hand corner we want to place, some way somehow, a floating smooth stone slab. What you can do is what I just did right there, or alternatively you can move one block over, place a black concrete, which has to be there anyway, and then place the smooth stone slab next to it, whichever way you like. We then want to extend the black concrete backwards by 2 using smooth stone, 1, 2, place another black concrete, smooth stone, extend the smooth stone across by 3, 1, 2, 3, and then copy the pattern that we have on the opposite side. So the same sequence of blocks applied to this side, the smooth stone as well, and also fill the middle of it in too. So this is going to create the bed of our van. Unfortunately, you can't sleep in it, although I would try if I was a postman. We are going to place stone buttons in all of the wheels. This is going to make them look more like wheels. We are going to place ourselves red concrete on the front width of the van. We're going to extend both sides backwards equally, but we'll do one side first. We're going to extend the ends of the red concrete back, up, back, back, and then down, just like this. And we want to do this on both sides. So back, up, sounds like a warning. Back, and then down. There we go. So we want to have something which should look exactly like that. So we then want to add a windshield. This is going to be a strip of black stained glass pane. You can use clear glass, but I've often noted that these vans, particularly the ones designed in my country, the ones in my area, is kind of like a black and red sort of situation. So feel free to modify as you see fit. We're going to give this thing a grill, which is simply just 2 ladders straight on the front, right in the middle. We're going to add item frames either side. We're going to chuck some block of iron in those item frames. What else are we going to do? We're going to add a double door at the back of the van here. And we're going to seal up the top of the van, at least the very, very top of the van. Not anymore, just like the tippity top part of the van. On this side of the van, you actually have 2 options, okay? So you have 2 options when it comes to the side of the van. You can either use banners to decorate a side, especially if you want like a UK like post van, like a Royal Mail van, then you might want the banners. But if you just want like sort of just like a little van, then you might want to do this. So on this side of the van, the side that we can't really see that much, I'm going to seal up the bottom, and I'm going to place black stained glass pane in these 2 remaining spaces. So we've got a little window here into the back of the van. But on this opposite side, I'm going to completely seal it up using red concrete. And I'm going to get some different materials out. First, actually, we'll do what's going to make this a little bit easier. We're going to grab tripwire hooks, red carpet, quartz stairs, and some levers. And we're going to add a little seat in the van, which is going to be on my side, the left side. If you're driving on a different side in your country, then put it on the opposite side, and a lever just to look like a little gear stick. That's perfect. I'm going to place red carpet all the way around on top of the glass like this, because we want the van to have a shape. And a material that I actually don't have in my inventory, but will certainly be in the item list because I would not forget it for the item list because it's quite essential, is string that we can place on top of the lever / stairs, and then that will give us the shape of the van. It's one of those vans where like the cab, the front part of the van is kind of like small, and then there's like a slow gradient up. But unfortunately, we're not using stairs, so we can't represent that as well as if we had stairs. You can make some door handles, some faux door handles for the van, meaning fake door handles. They can go above the wheels if you like. You might like that, you might not. That's completely up to you. Feel free to subtract them. And we're also going to fill the back of the van up a little bit. So inside of the van, this is a male van after all. Not male as in the gender, male as in male. We're going to grab red concrete item frames. We're going to grab brown shulker boxes, note blocks, barrels, chests, stuff that we can just like fill the back of the van up with. And we're going to seal up the van inside. You can either add glass, kind of like leading to the front part. I mean, you could even add like another door inside here if you wanted to. If you actually literally wanted to get to where you would sit and drive, theoretically you could add a door. But realistically speaking, I'm just going to seal this up. And then I'm just going to kind of like fill the back of the van up with parcels. That's, you know, anything that would be a parcel. The chests are actually quite good to chuck like in front of something because they have kind of like, you can still see underneath, like behind them. We can use some item frames, and we can place item frames on top of things now, which is excellent. And you can just like place some empty maps or paper or whatever, just to kind of like represent some like letters and stuff. And then we can just kind of like seal up the van, so you can see that there is stuff in there. And you can put anything in there as well. I mean, well, okay, I guess we don't need any of that stuff anymore. I accidentally hit X. If you wanted to, you could just like chuck an armor stand in there too. You know, whatever might be delivered, you can put in there. I would avoid livestock. Alright, so the last little detail that I kind of want to add to the van, and I mentioned it earlier, is some signs. So I'm going to grab a loom, red banners, white dye, red dye, yellow dye, and a yellow banner. Now, you may not want to add these whatsoever. This is more so like a Royal Mail van, like I said. So if you're from the UK or you just know of it, then you might recognise this a little bit. What you could do, and I don't know whether this would look goofy, you could literally like write mail like across the van in banners, or you could write post or something to that effect if you wanted to. You could just also leave it like that and add like another window. Options, options, options. So anyway, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to chuck a loom down. I'm going to move my red banners up into the position. I don't actually need to move the dies. I'm going to crack open the loom, and the first letter that I want to make is R for Royal Mail. So red banner in there, white die, vertical row of white on the left side, horizontal row of white along the top, and then a diagonal row top left to bottom right corner for the R. We want to make M, not one of my favorite letters to make. That's going to be another red banner straight in with the white die. It's going to be this kind of like where is it? This kind of like diagonal cutout like this. We need to place that pattern, chuck that back in, get rid of the white, grab some red. We need to then place kind of like this jagged rock formation at the top of the banner. I'm going off by these little pictures, by the way. I'm going to grab that, put it back in, chuck the red out, put the white back in, and then we are going to place a vertical row of white on the left and a vertical row of white on the right. And then we have RM for Royal Mail. So that's perfect. But there is a little finishing touch that you can add here, and this is completely up to you, and I'm hoping that I can remember this by how to make this by memory. So if you want to, there's often a little crown logo that you will see on these vans, and we can make it by using a red banner and chucking some red dye in there. We want to start off with that same jagged sort of diagonal formation that we did on the M, and we grab that and put the banner back in. We get rid of the red dye and we put yellow in there, and we put a diamond in the center. We grab that, put that back in, get rid of the yellow, put the red back in, and then we can. So here's your options. You can, like, there's a few different ways to do this. You can have it so that you get rid of like the bottom row of your red, so you get rid of the bottom row, so you've got quite a long crown. You can do it so that you shorten the crown. You can just like straight up get rid of like you can get rid of half of the space. That's completely up to you. I like the idea of having a larger crown, so I'm just going to get rid of like the bottom layer. And then, this is, you know, this is up to you as well. I'm not quite sure which I prefer. You can reduce the size of the crown by placing a border of red around it as well. I think I'm going to do that because I think that sticks out too much. I think that it refines the crown a little bit more. And basically, all that we're going to do here is, starting from like this position on the van, royal, mail, and then the banner, just like that. Alternatively, what you could have is you could have R, banner, M. That would also work. And if you wanted to, as I keep mentioning, you could literally like just write mail or post. That's luckily 4 letters, and that would fit on the van as well. But this is kind of just like a goofy, almost sort of looks like Postman Pat's van, which is kind of what I was going for as well, which is of course modelled on the actual van itself, Royal Mail van. So I'm quite happy with that. We're actually finished. Let's clean this area up, shall we? So this is what your post van should look like once it has been 100% fully completed. As you can see, we have the nice branding on the side with the Royal Mail, but on the opposite side, which is something that you could have on both sides, we also have a window which kind of shows off the fact that we actually have some goodies in this van as well, which I really do think highlights the van. I think it makes it look just that little bit better. And of course, it just looks even better built outside of your very own post office too. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I do hope that you guys have enjoyed building this. If you have, please do remember to subscribe to the channel and click that little bell next to the subscription button if you haven't already. If you would like to make any more city related builds by me, as you can see, we make post offices and IHOPs and supermarkets and all sorts of stuff, then check out the card system description below the top of the comment section for all of those things. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.